About 6 months ago, some friendly fans were kind enough to send me this custom-made suka блять play button for passing 10,000 Cheeki breeki subscribers. And after 4 more months of super Slav activity, the channel reached 100,000 компот drinking, shashlik eating subscribers squatting on top of jars of mayonnaise. And since we all know that YouTube play buttons take forever to deliver, we Slavs, we make our own. Boom! To celebrate 250,000 subscribers, I bring you custom-made hand-stitched play button with Adidas stripe. Let's make one. Yes, Boris! Okay, probably by now you are thinking, there is no way Boris made this play button by himself. Well, my friends with the Slav powers invested in me, and of course the ancient teachings of babushka stitching. I can tell you this much, making one of these is as easy as flipping a balloon. First of all, go find your old mattress, stick a knife inside and boom, you find this stuff. It's like big sponge, but you don't want to wash yourself with this. Okay, take pencil, draw button shape. Not need to be very accurate with design, only your babushka will be criticizing your skills. Or in my case, the whole world, so no pressure. Once you have finished drawing the outline of your item, take scissors and cut roughly the size of what you have drawn. Be careful not to cut off any fingers, you will need them all for later in stitching. Once you have the basic shape of your button, you can draw on the play icon, so you will know what it pretty much will look like afterwards. Now if you came to this video looking for a sponge play button you can wash yourself with and wash away hopes of getting 1 million subscribers ever, you can start cutting away edge of this sponge. Cut away on both sides and cut a bit into the play button as well. Then this is what you will end up with. You see, very professional looking sponge. Use vodka for water and mayonnaise for soap and you can have a professional Slav sponge party. But if you came looking for the real leather covered Adidas striped Ultimate Slav button award, then we are only getting started, блять. Now you can use real leather or fake leather or pretty much any fabric you want. Just use red and white for best effect, or you can just use colors of your tracksuit. It's up to you and your Slav waist. Today we're doing classic. Moving on to next part. If you're using strong materials like I am today, take a marker and inside of material draw outline. Once you have made outline of your project, draw another line around that with size of half of the width of your sponge. Okay, cut out the button shaped balloon you have just drawn and make another one for other side of balloon, I mean button. If you have followed steps correctly and you have taken precautions, then you should now have exactly the same amount of fingers as you had at start. And of course the right components to make this glorious button. Okay, take side 1, straighten it out, admire it, and say you are the chosen one. For you see, comrades, when you are creating something with your own hands, then you put your Slav soul into it, and then it will be nothing short of a truly Slav creation. Now you cut out a play button icon, or you can cut out any icon you want. Maybe a nice Life of Boris logo, maybe Gopnik award, is up to you. The inside of this hole you should definitely fill with more material, unless you want to make it your secret shashlik hiding place, which is actually not bad idea actually. Neighbor Vadim, cousin Anatoly, you never know when you need safe place to hide the shashlik. Okay, now shit is getting very serious. One of the many rites of passage in a young Slav's life is teachings of how to sew. Most of you acquire this knowledge from babushka, others are not so lucky. This one is for you, my friend. Basic sewing very simple. It's like using stapler to stick together two blends. But instead of blends there is fabric, and instead of staples you use thread. You know, it's logic. Okay, you take some thread, about twice as much as you would need to go around the pattern. You stick thread through needle, блять! You thread the fucking needle. You match the ends and you tie a knot. And you can make second knot if you want, because we are using thick fabric. And since we are using thick fabric, go find your grandmama stash of thimbles and find one that fits your strong Slav finger. Align the needle for first incision. Push it through with your thimble finger, and there you go, you have successfully made an incision. Align it again for second shot, make third one as well, and boom, there you go, celebrate with mayonnaise. Okay, let's say you go around the pattern. You finish off by cutting thread and adding another knot into end. And you see, first side is done. Other side is much more easy. Since 3 stripes of Adidas run in your bloodstream, you cut them out and you sew them to fabric. Now this will take time, because you will need to sew each stripe on both edges, but believe the final result. It is like making perfect blend on cold winter morning. Congratulations, you have followed me this far. It is time for you to go and get a glass of refreshing compote, because this next part will have you saying "Сука, блять." Take these two sides and put them together back to back. Tell mama to get tea ready, because next part will take time. Oh yes, I forgot to mention, you better call friends and clear plans for whole day. Because unless you are sweatshop worker with sewing machine, then this project will take you many hours if you do it by hand. So remember to have emergency buterbrod at standby. Start off by marking down the pattern you are going to sew. I suggest you use this U-shaped pattern so you can stick your Slav sponge in there afterwards. Get some company, put some good music on, or maybe start watching a movie. May I suggest the 1979 movie Stalker, based on novel Roadside Picnic. Once you have finally sewn together the edge, you will now need to flip it inside out. You will then end up with this kind of pouch that you need to stick your sponge in. Do not worry about breaking it, your strong Slav stitches will hold it together. To finish up this mayonnaise pillow that you are creating, you will need to make blind stitch to nicely close up this last opening. If you do not know what blind stitch is, feel free to google it, blin, it's not sewing channel here. Well, after you finish with that, you will hold in your hand your very own Adidas stripe play button. If for nothing else, then for at least being able to finish this tutorial and finishing with as many fingers as you started with. Well, thank you for watching, my friends. I hope you enjoyed some Slavic handicraft. In the next video, I will be doing something completely different. I will see you next time, my friends. Stay cheeky breeky.